Hello everyone, I'm ready to be confused by Reggie's antics. Are you?
Good night.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you can't just say good night to everything, Fable. It's illegal.
I can't when it comes to Reggie videos.
Why do you mean you can for Reggie videos?
Good night.
Oh my god. Well, this is another one of the things I'm going to have to deal with, aren't I? What am I going to do with you, Fable? Everyone, throw apples at him. Anyway. Along this note, I don't know what this game is. Stallcraft X. Do steroids eat slop become European? What? I have no idea what's going to happen here. All I know is it's going to be insane and Reggie is going to break the game somehow. I don't know what this game even is. But I already know at least the point of Reggie's going to break things. Also, I did see a funny comment that was relating to Fable where it just says pat the furry's head. Don't worry about it when it comes to Reggie videos. Anyway. We're going to end this. But, Chrono, what do they do if they want more?
Subscribe and like and comment down below.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, we're going to head more into this and see where it goes.
Fellas, I have one question. Have you ever wanted to explore a legally distinct world with a legally distinct art style, all while using a legally distinct weapon customization system? Well, you're in luck, because I owe an inordinate amount of money to the Canadian Mafia.
What?
And if I don't pay up soon, I'm going to get trafficked. Which leads me to my next point.
God.
This video is sponsored by Stallcraft X.
What is that?
Stallcraft is an open-world extraction shooter fielding tens of thousands of players and plenty of informative reviews. When I read a review that said, and I quote, "The developers need to be shot."
What? The game story are the worst things on this godforsaken world. The story of the Master of the Zone mission is unfun. It's
I
Oh,
knew
God,
I
the
had
hell.
found something special. So today,
honestly, the art design, besides the cube people, does make me think of Stalker. Even
Damn.
the cube people make me think of Stalker. I had to go through Clear Skies. That was awful. Clear Skies is very hard, Chrono. You can easily bleed at any point. Guns rust very easily, and anyway,
Damn.
yeah.
Mac never got his gear fixed.
No, because the stupid zombie people with guns kept attacking the one laboratory place that I keep trying to get a mission from, but they won't open the doors because all of their guards are dead because they're stupid and don't kill any of the... It's Walmart brand Stalker. Well, sometimes if it's made by an independent company, it can't be that bad. But yeah, I'm still angry about that. Because I'm like, oh, I did this mission, got this thing for you. You won't open the door because all of your stupid guards can't defend you. Then I have to go shoot them all, and then they still almost
we're going
die.
to be exploring Stallcraft X, experiencing its rich community, and answering the important questions, such as, if I was chasing you through the woods naked, could you escape? Would you even try? But before we can do any of that, we need to download the game. Just
it's
not
free?
on Steam. As of writing this review, Stallcraft has been delisted, and I
Really?
can't tell you why. Just know that they aren't telling you
StarCraft
everything.
X is now on Steam. Okay, so it is on Steam. So he's just messing with us, I guess.
This one goes all the way to the top.
I'm gonna come.
But I can assure you that I am doing absolutely everything in my power
Dear
to
God.
continue playing Caves of Quad in the meantime. After successfully
that's an
downloading
interesting
the
one.
game client through 3 layers of virtual machines, I organize
What?
it into the appropriate folder and begin playing. Quick update, Stallcraft is now back on Steam. Clearly, my
Okay.
hundreds of carefully worded threats to the CEO
I
of
just have to... Oh, MasterCard. That was during that thing.
MasterCard have been well received.
Oh, God.
The main story story of STALCRAFT 2 Wings of Liberty sees you, John STALCRAFT, on a personal quest in rural Dagestan to kill your own son in order to avoid paying child support. Along the way, you will encounter classic characters such as Good Luck Jonathan and Tokyo Sex Wale. For legal reasons, I am required to disclose that none of that was true. In fact, my entire script for this video is not to be trusted. So please, take everything I say here.
What did it say back there?
For this video is not to be trusted.
Introduction. Spread misinformation, lie and deceive, main body, mislead, misrepresent, conclusion, gaslight, isn't true. This guy, thank you for watching.
So please, take everything I say here with a grain of salt. Once you've got the game downloaded, it's time to create a character. Just remember, arbitrary naming conventions exist to stifle creativity, defy tradition, become the man you were meant to be. Then you can marvel at your character in the main menu. Unfortunately,
Reggie.
the developers only had the budget to allow for 15 degrees of character rotation.
That is
but
weird.
at least we can wiggle the background slightly. Can somebody say AAA gaming? Now, let's start our first mission. Right off the bat, two things happen. I awake to find myself in Eastern Europe, and as soon as I learn how to move, I attempt suicide via electrocution.
Why?
These two things are related. Unfortunately, we're in a planned economy, and the electrical grid hasn't worked for the past 50
Why is he playing Persona 3 music in the background of this entire endeavor?
No idea.
Like, that's the music from late at night whenever you get back to the housing district. Where am I being texted? Oh my god. What the hell do they want from me? What does anyone want from me?
The souls of the wicked, man.
Oh my god, well they can't have that.
years, so we have to trudge onward. Eventually, I find my way into a traditional Russian elevator and begin pilfering its inhabitants. I have my first visceral Stallcraft moment when, after killing several people with an AK-47, I gaze upon their fetid corpses in horror. This man's lips look like surgically reconstructed labia. I stare into the abyss, and the abyss stares into me. I consider trying my luck with the electrical box again, but instead, I follow instructions to reach an escape helicopter on the roof. Arriving there, I realize the entire building is collapsing, which seems like a great time to use a sniper. After fighting through the last enemies, we reach the chopper to meet our evac team. At which point, you might say, wait a minute, this feels kind of familiar. Before promptly getting shot in the face. That's what we get for playing the tutorial. Before we go any further, I need to address the elephant in the room. One of the first things you'll notice about this game is the deeply unsettling art style, because they've blended hyper-realistic faces with the sharp 90-degree angles of a tile floor in a way that the human mind cannot comfortably perceive.
It is very
Each and every person in this game looks as if they have been subjected to tremendous vacuum pressure to painfully remodel their anatomy into a series of rectangles, and they don't seem too happy about it. Every AI has the kind of 1,000-yard stare that silently begs for euthanasia. But no matter how far I shove the barrel of my loaded shotgun into their mouths, I cannot extract even a modicum of human emotion. The naive among us fear creatures of the night, but those burdened with knowledge fear their fellow man above all else. With that out of the way, allow me to explain the gameplay loop. Starting off, we select one of two factions, Stalkers or Bandits. Your choice doesn't matter too much.
It literally is just Stalker. It literally is, oh my god.
Damn.
They literally just made royalty-free stock. Oh my god.
But if you don't want to become the next victim of the bum alley rapist, I suggest choosing Stalkers. From here, you're dropping into an open world teeming with other players, hostile wildlife, and some
Reggie, what the fuck are any of
very
your
dangerous
words?
mutants. You move from outpost to outpost.
Where does he find any of this? You know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't want to know where he finds these things.
Completing quests and upgrading your gear. When it comes to armor, we've got everything ranging from a $3 million exoskeleton to I'm on my way to kill Samuel Jackson. And each option offers unique advantages against the variety of threats in Chernobyl. For example, if you see a pocket of turbulence, don't approach it. This is an anomaly, and best case scenario, it's going to launch you into the air and break both of your legs. Worst case scenario, you're going to be blended. That is as lethal as it sounds. zones. Now
Yep.
listen, I won't lie, this starter
I
zone
remember
is
that.
basically a preschool with guns. The enemies aren't that difficult, and the most dangerous thing is probably forgetting to turn your night vision goggles off when going inside. However, just like preschools, this zone is important for learning. Learn the weapon upgrade paths. Understand the hierarchy of mold and its greater economic value. And most importantly, realize that all food comes in the form of troughs of slop with
Ew.
names such as hoof to the face meat jelly. What the fuck is going on? Real honest input here. Once you get outside the starting zone, the game becomes a lot more fun. Because you need to be challenged in order to give a shit about grinding 2 hours for a new bolt-action rifle.
Makes
Without
sense.
consequences, none of this matters. And let me tell you, the game has consequences. The third zone I encountered was the forest. And the forest is a lot like Detroit, because if you get aggro from a
Detroit.
local, you must kill them. If instead you choose to run, your weakness will be perceived by the very environment itself.
What?
And before long, you'll be at the epicenter of a
Oh,
non-consensual gangbang. Also, the entire place is full of surprise trampolines, which adds an absurdist element of comedy as you run for your life from gangs of wild animals and sex criminals. Speaking of running, that's my next point of feedback. This
Okay.
game has no fast travel system, unless you consider
Oh.
killing yourself and respawning at the nearest hospital a form of fast travel. This doesn't feel too bad early on, but as your quests push you northward, you're looking at a 30-minute walk if you want to go
Good
back to the starting
lord.
zone. And don't worry, there's just enough wild pigs and environmental hazards to make sure you can't use auto-run. I would personally fillet the entire development team just to be able to sniff the seat of a bicycle in STALCRAFT X. I'm not asking for a lot. I'd probably settle for a goddamn toboggan. Just give me something. Technically, the game does have energy drinks and anabolic steroids to make you go faster, but it's only like 3% faster. And if I have to jam another stick of epinephrine into my neck, I'm going to cry. I'm already onboarding a mixture of unregulated stimulants
Good
to allow me
lord.
to carry 150 pounds of copper wire that I stole from the power grid. My body can't take much more. This is probably a good time to discuss the
God
in-game
lord.
cash shop. I
There's a
don't know
cash
how it
shop?
works. It appears to be operating in several currencies and possibly selling a plane. It also
What
features
the
such
hell?
exciting offers as the letter E. Eventually, I decided to open a loot box, and what did I get? More anabolic steroids. That does it. I'm going.
This is not a multiplayer game, right? As far as I can tell.
Oh no.
So, why are we having a cash shop? This makes me think of Ubisoft in the worst ways.
Going to die in these fields. Now, all of that covered the early and mid-game PvE, but PvP is also a huge part of the game, and
Yes.
I'd like to tell you all about it. But I can't. I
What?
have only experienced a small portion, because I'm what they call a twink in the classical sense. I
What?
go to late game zones, gather the best weapons, and then I come back to the starting area to sit in a bush shooting dozens of new players in the head. They call me the ultimate predator. Whenever I'm not terrorizing a
Good
preschool
lord.
with a bolt-action rifle, I'm losing gunfights to objectively better players with
Oh, so it
objectively more
is
offensive
actually players here. Damn.
names.
Oh,
like it
dear
or
God.
not, but this is the food chain in action.
There's so much wrong with that,
On the
but
topic
alright.
of PvP, eruption shelters
mad
are a
if you don't
common
make
place
money
to
off this
encounter
video, bro.
interpersonal violence. The environment of
What-
Chernobyl
what-
is kind
what'd
of
you say, Fable?
Don't get mad if you don't make money off this video, man.
I will get mad, but I won't get mad at
No,
anyone but
wait.
myself.
No, this is on you, brother. This
Oh,
is
what
on
do you mean it's on me? I didn't
You
think...
know how Reggie is. You know how he
quirky
is.
in the sense that
Oh,
every 40
God.
minutes a radiation storm
Like,
covers the
this is not
entire
your
map
first
and
time
kills
watching
hundreds of
it.
people.
I
this
know,
forces
but
the entire
this is-
server into
goddamn.
a handful of radiation shelters, which can lead to some heated disagreements. I
Yeah,
won't
they
lie,
go
I feel a
hiding.
little bad when I see a new player
So, literally, this is Stalker, but just multiplayer. Alright, that sounds interesting. I don't really like the loot boxes mechanic, but... we'll see.
desperately drag themselves into the shelter only for me to shoot them in the face.
Oof.
But in a much more real way, I don't care at all, because I've been grinding mold for the past 2 hours, and I'll be damned if MILF Hunter 19 thinks he can take it away from me. Apart from that, the player culture is fairly reasonable, and most people are willing to work together.
Really?
However, a lot of the player base doesn't speak English.
I'm hungry.
Makes
man.
sense.
I seen some.
So just be prepared to communicate through a complex system of crouching, spamming voice lines, and hitting each other with shovels. This
What?
might sound counterintuitive, but once you negotiate your first trade deal simply by throwing screws at a Polish man's head, you'll understand that you are speaking a universal language. All of that covers the general vibe of the game. Now, I'll run you through the main questline experience. The story of STALCRAFT is as follows. In
Okay.
1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant fucking exploded, spewing radioactive fallout into the atmosphere and giving at least 10,000 people cancer. In the following years,
Yeah.
random adventurers and scientific researchers looked at this and said, hold on, I can make it way worse. Now, due to human interference, Chernobyl is crawling with mutants,
It
magic
really is.
artifacts, and mercenaries
Like I said, it's just Stalker.
vying
Yeah.
for control, and you're one of them. So here's a rusty submachine gun and a few sticks of anti-radiation chewing gum from the 1980s. Good
Oh,
luck.
God.
Depending on which faction you choose, you'll spawn in one of the starting villages. If your first intuition is to find a nearby lake and drown yourself in it, don't bother. No matter how many times I kill myself, I keep waking up in Chernobyl. Hell is a prison of our own creation, so let's make the most of it. Quickly
Okay.
acquainting myself with the townspeople, I find a weapons vendor, a toothless man trying to sell me industrial dehumidifiers, and
Okay.
a probable neo-Nazi. The European realism
God.
is astonishing.
return.
Above all else, you will quickly realize that every town is full of people with obviously fake names that will try to convince you to commit heinous acts of violence for as
Ugh.
much as $12 US. That's if you're
Oh.
lucky. Most of the time, it's just random garbage. And let me tell you, there's something profoundly insulting about spending 20 minutes beating wild pigs to death with a shovel only to get paid in Rubik's Cubes and rolls of toilet paper.
Rubik's Cubes and rolls of toilet. For some reason, the Rubik's Cube is worth more than the toilet paper. I don't know why that would be. But I feel like toilet paper is a lot more useful. What do you think, Fable?
I'm asleep right now.
No, you're not. Get up.
Nah, I'm laying down. on the floor. I'm
No. You can't
Good
lay,
night,
just lay on
everybody.
the floor. Anyway. More into this, but, yeah. Reggie, what the hell are you running into? Also, I did learn a fun fact for you, Fable.
But I accept it,
Yes.
because I'm not here to
And
make
that
money.
is toucans are carnivores.
Oh, that's disappointing.
What do you mean that's disappointing? Toucans are
Too many
cool.
things. Too many things are carnivores.
What do you mean too many things are carnivores?
Too many things are carnivores. It's disappointing.
Oh my god.
money. I'm here to discover the mysteries of Chernobyl. I start by speaking with the camp leader. He offers to introduce me to a local schizophrenic who might be able to help. But
Okay.
first, he needs me to do a job for him. The job isn't important.
To camp
Just know
Sam
that
sending
by
a cryptic
accepting,
note
you
to
have
the cops to
irreversibly
follow
set
their
in
nose.
motion
Oh
an
my God.
18-hour-long chain
What
of...
the hell?
What the hell? You just read that from Raikoi?
Yes. I just saw it right now. What the hell?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
also, other random fact. Bullfrogs are highly invasive, and they're a reason a lot of species of other frogs and other animals are having trouble existing where they are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you find, I'm not really sure what the controversial wildlife preserve center does. I don't think that's what it's called. I don't know what their laws are when it comes to invasive species such as bullfrogs, but I know in Florida, if you see invasive species of iguanas and certain things, you're supposed to kill them on sight.
Huh.
So I think that's probably the same thing with bullfrogs. To be honest, even if it wasn't, I suggest it mostly because they're actually highly invasive and they overeat everything.
Yeah.
They do a lot more harm than good, so probably best to get rid of bullfrogs in areas that they don't belong.
Anyway. Yeah, we're going to help
job
this
for
stalker.
him. The job isn't important. Just know that by accepting, you have irreversibly set in motion an 18-hour-long chain of,
Oh,
sure,
good
Stalker,
God.
I can help you out, but first, you need to do this for me.
Oh,
I'll be honest,
God.
I don't remember a lot of the details for the first quest, because as soon as I left the town, my survival instincts kicked in, at which point I ran into the wilderness and started bathing in stagnant water, making sure
Why?
to drink as much of it as possible before punching out the windows of a nearby car, to fill my pockets with glass in case I got hungry. Fair warning.
Why?
Role-playing in this way did result in several people calling me retarded. In their defense, I probably am. After physically perforating a
Lord.
dozen people, I am put in contact with a local mystic known as the Shaman. In real life, both of these terms are practical synonyms for drug addict.
Yeah?
Regardless, the Shaman explains some things to us. Somewhere in Chernobyl, there's a magic blue artifact of immeasurable power, and we are
Do
supernaturally
not.
drawn to it.
Oh my
This
God.
unnatural attraction is known as the Blessing. That might sound cool, but mostly it just results in us experiencing horrifying hallucinations.
Oh.
Guys, we did it. 250,000 obese farting furries.
And waking
What
up
the
in
hell?
different places. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're just epileptic. However, that's not the public perception. Being blessed in Chernobyl is like being an albino in Tanzania, because people are going to try to kill you and harvest your organs. And I don't know about you, but I'd prefer if my rectangular dick and balls weren't turned into powder and smoked by a local witch doctor. So we've got to keep our wits about us. The main quest
Alright.
line involves us being passed around by local magic men, with each one becoming more mentally ill than the last. We
Really?
start by killing a few people for Shaman, no big deal. Then we seek out the Oracle, which requires us to develop
Oracle?
prostate cancer several times, as he lives in the middle of a radiation field. Shortly after meeting him, Oracle is arrested for punching women in the street, so we move on to working with a clearly psychotic man living in a swamp. He canonically believes that he is the snake from a 1967 children's movie. He also
What?
sends us on a series of riddles that typically end
don't
with
think
us
that's the
sorting
call
through
you're
a
thinking
backpack
of.
full of dead rats. The more I interact with these people, the more I crave an absolute and immediate death. But I push on to meet my contractual obligations. After working your way through a conga line of the mentally deranged, you'll arrive at the bar. This is one of the few locations where bandits and stalkers can peacefully coexist, because an Eastern European's physiological need to be an alcoholic overrides all cultural and ethnic loyalties. Basically,
What?
this is Dalaran, and if you understand that reference,
I
I'll
don't
see
at
you in the
all.
retirement home. This place has
I have no idea what that
You
reference.
son of a bitch.
I like that got Fable out of no one else. Fable just catching
Oh.
a stray here from nowhere.
I'll fucking see you in hell, Reggie. I swear to God. Ugh, I hate him.
What did he mean by that, Fable?
Dalaran is a city. Well, it was a city in the World of Warcraft games. It was the third expansion. The reason I say was is because currently in the lore it's destroyed. Anyway, I fucking hate Reggie right now.
See you in there.
I'll fucking see him in hell, Beck. I swear to God.
Bullfrog legs are good to eat, so just tell the rednecks that the bullfrog are free to eat. I'd probably never eat a frog, honestly. It feels unsanitary.
I don't know. All I know is talk to your game wardens, especially in areas where there are invasive species, and get permission from them. If invasive species are destroying your area, speak to the game wardens. Try to get all the knowledge before you
Yeah.
do anything bad. I'm just going off knowledge I understand in Florida. I don't know how it works in other states.
It's
But
fine.
invasive species are extremely bad and dangerous for a lot of areas. There are certain species of animals that hunt specifically only invasive species, but it's a thing.
Yeah. Also, funny enough, wild hogs are a big problem nowadays. They are very invasive. Anyway.
Yeah, but the problem is wild hogs are also incredibly dangerous, so it's probably
Yeah.
recommended that you don't go after them. If
Yeah.
all possible.
People go
unless
after
you're a
them in
trained hunter.
helicopters. It's crazy.
Yeah, unless you're a trained hunter, but even then, please be warned that there is no guarantee you'll make it out without any injuries, because wild
Yeah.
hogs get
Plenty of-
really huge
and
and are extremely dangerous.
they're very fast. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
vendors, and it's usually pretty chill. Except one time, there was a rooftop sniper killing everyone,
What?
and we couldn't find him. Other than that, very nice place. Anyway, it's at the bar that we will be forced to choose a secondary faction to align ourselves
Really?
with. Frontier is a paramilitary group that uses human wave tactics in an effort to destroy all mutants and gain control of Chernobyl. I am contractually not allowed to compare them to the Wagner PMC group, so I
What the
won't.
hell?
Our other option is Rise.
Why
This
would
is
you-
a group of
Okay.
anarcho-libertarians who are brave enough to posit that maybe, just maybe, Chernobyl would be better without any government oversight. I choose Rise purely because I think they're mentally challenged and it'll be funnier. After that, our new allies help us track down Oracle, who was captured by an enemy gang called the Orderlies. I sneak into
Okay.
their top secret enemy base by simply saying I work here, and then we find Oracle. By this point in the game, I'm only reading like 30% of the dialogue, so the
Yeah.
details are kind of spotty. But the gist of it is that the blue sphere is somewhere over here. However, it's being guarded by 5G towers that will melt your brain and turn you into a zombie if you get too close. Luckily, Oracle
those.
gives us his
Yeah,
finest
there's an actual thing where there's something called the waves in the zone that will fry your brain and basically turn you into a zombie or just kill you. It's kind of horrifying.
Stalker?
Yeah. Basically, there's things
Okay.
called the waves that if you get too close to the middle of the zone where they said the wish granter is, basically there's a thing that'll fry your brain and turn you into a zombie that shoots anyone else on sight, or it kills you. Or it might mutate you into a monster.
Alright, I thought that was in real life. I'm like, oh god. What's this?
And yeah, that thing that he has right there is supposed to block out the waves.
foil hat and we escape via helicopter. But we have a pretty bad track record with helicopters, and it
Yeah.
crashes shortly after takeoff. Dusting myself off from the explosion, I head straight for the blue sphere. The only thing standing in my way
Oh,
now-
also one more thing. No one is allowed, if you go into the zone, you're not allowed out of the zone. Like, there's a huge military blockade all around it. Because apparently, if you go outside of the zone, everything around you will just... Bad things will happen around you, basically. It's due to the strange powers of the zone. It's
now
weird.
is about 10,000 enemy AI. So, let it begin.
Oh! God damn, Reggie.
After all that, we're so close. The sphere is in the next room, and to get there, we just have one final boss fight. Everyone up to this point was a guard, but this is the guard. I
Oh.
can't lie, I have mixed feelings about this boss.
I hate this fucking boss!
In order to kill him, we need to destroy the 6 power cells located on his body, while making sure to
God.
dodge his lasers, kill the ads, stop him from recharging, all while continuously shoving first aid kits up our ass. In order for him to kill us, he just needs to touch us. You could say
God
we're at a
damn.
disadvantage, but after getting flattened about 20 times, you'll start to understand the dodging and become the Matador. At that point, you've pretty much got him beat. Moving on from that, we head into the final room, where we find
Okay.
a generic Russian scientist who intends to use the power of the blue sphere to create an army of zombies and take over the world. Very cool, but do you have a gun? Because all of my friends do. The scientist makes his escape, but we firmly secured the sphere. There's just one problem. The orderlies showed up, along with all of our drug addict friends from earlier, and they're disagreeing on what to do with the sphere.
Oh, God.
The orderlies want to destroy it, whereas Shaman wants to use its power to enact his most depraved
Oh, God.
fantasies. I can tolerate a lot, but gooning in this economy? I don't think so. This kicks off a huge boss fight where Shaman and his druggies seize control of the sphere and start using it to summon an absolute shitload of mutants. If you don't have an automatic weapon for this part, you're simply not completing it. Eventually,
God.
Shaman fully absorbs the power of the sphere and starts saying a bunch of homoerotic stuff.
It's only gay if you receive, don't worry!
After
hell?
depositing 90 pounds of lead into his cranium, we drain
Christ.
his health bar and break his psychic
wonder if
powers.
that's
This
an actual
causes a
thing or
hard
just
cut
Reggie
from the
being
boss
Reggie?
fight directly.
You know it's just Reggie being Reggie. There's no way they put that in the game.
True.
Into a cutscene where we shoot him in the face, which for some reason I found very funny. I think I was a bit delirious at this point. Either way, that does it. Shaman is dead, the sphere is destroyed, and hundreds of thousands of people who are being controlled by it simply go insane and die on the spot.
Wow.
This is as close to a happy ending as Eastern Europe will ever get. In conclusion, STALCRAFT X, one of the best games I've played all day. I want to thank Expo for sponsoring this video. Big thanks to the Grim Cleaper for recording with me for 2 hours before blowing himself up with a grenade.
Goodbye, father.
Also, don't forget to try STALCRAFT X today using code SM25Reggie to receive free equipment, 3 days premium access, and my undying adoration. And finally, thank you for watching.
Well, that was a trip and a half.
I hated it. I caught a stray of all things.
I thought that was hilarious that you caught a stray.
You would, you son of a bitch. You would.
It's just so random out of nowhere, and it's like as soon as I heard Fable go, "You motherfucker!"
Good though.
God. But if you want us to react to more Reggie, because I know there's many videos we haven't to, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. I'll see you all later. Be good to yourselves, and yeah, take care of yourselves.